Hello, boys and girls. I want you to listen to find out why King Pakal built such a great tomb and why the read aloud is called the Maya, the festival of the first star. Tun began telling the others about King Pakal, the Mayan king who had ruled Pakal and was buried in a magnificent pyramid tomb in the city. King Pakal was real a very long time ago, and you will hear true facts about him in this made up story. Speaking softly so that the other people might not overhear, Toon said, Mayan kings become kings based on who their fathers were. When a king died, if he did not have a son, his brother or nephew might become king. But King Pakal was different. His mother was the queen. However, according to Mayan tradition, shortly after his 12th birthday, his mother crowned Pakal king. He was the age of a sixth grader today. But he was worried some might say he's not worthy of being a ruler, or he did not deserve to be a ruler. So he always tried extra hard to show what a great ruler he could be. Some people think that is why he built such a great pyramid in which to be buried. So why did people think King Pakal built such a magnificent pyramid? I do not know if that is why he built such a great pyramid, but I know that to this day, King Pakal was the greatest king who ever ruled Pakal, and now his son, King Khanbalam, is a great ruler like his father. But all this is something we do not talk about openly, for King Khanbalam might not like it. He does not want anyone to remember that there was a question about his father being king, for then they might say the same thing about him. Although after all this time, I do not think anyone would do so. Still, do you understand why I say these things softly? Do you understand why Toom told the story quietly? Khanbalam is afraid someone will say he cannot be king because his father, King Pakal, was the son of the queen. The children whispered, Yes, all at the same time. They felt very grown up to have been told this story, and for a while they were quiet as they and the grown ups rose to their feet and went on exploring the great city. Swiveling his head from side to side, determined not to miss anything, Pick told Kanal, I never knew there could be buildings so big. Yes, Kanal agreed, or such a big market with so many things for sale and so many people buying and selling. Or so much noise, Eichel said, and her brother laughed. Well, it's true, she protested. Our village is never this noisy. Do you see how Eichel is covering her ears in the picture? Chanel said, It is because of the festival of the first star. All of these people are here to celebrate the appearance of the first star and the god Kukulkan. The Maya believed the stars and planets were gods, so for hundreds of years the Maya studied the sky very carefully. Planets are large bodies in outer space, along with the sun, moon, and stars. The Maya believed that the stars and planets were gods that controlled different things. They had no telescopes to make distant things look closer and clearer. No one had invented a telescope yet. But the Maya built what we call observatories for studying the sky. To observe means to look carefully at something. So an observatory is a place to observe the sky. The ancient Maya built observatories atop temples and high places, and the Maya priests studied the sky from them. Why do you think the Maya built their observatories on top of pyramids? The Maya scheduled their holidays and many other events to match the movements of stars and planets. The Maya figured out exactly when planets and stars would appear in certain places in the sky. They used this knowledge to create the most accurate calendar in the world. Accurate means correct or without error. They had festivals centered on the appearance of the stars and planets, like the festival of the first star. Who can tell me what festivals are? Today we know that the festival of the first star was not really about a star at all. What Chanel called the first star is really a planet that looks like a star. We call this planet Venus. And like our own planet Earth, Venus travels in a wide circle around the sun. It is often the first star-like light we see in the evening sky when it is beginning to get dark. Of course, without a telescope, the Maya could not see Venus clearly enough to know it was a planet, so they called it a star. To them, it was the first star and very important. So the festival celebrated the time each year when the first star, which was actually Venus, appeared at a certain place in the sky. People came from far away to take part during the festival. There would be singing and dancing, and Mayan people would make offerings to the god that the first star represented, the Kukulkan. While Kanal, Pic, and their families were visiting the city of Baikal, thousands of other Mayan families were visiting too. They all watched the lines of richly dressed nobles walking to the temples. They watched the appearance of King Khanbalam with special excitement as he was carried to the foot of a pyramid, walked slowly up the wide steps to the top, and disappeared into the temple. They waited the whole time he was inside, and when he reappeared, they cheered mightily, for they knew he had asked the gods to be kind to his people, and they hoped the gods would agree. Remember, the Maya believed in many different gods. As the celebration stretched into the night, Kanal's family looked around in wonder. But the greatest wonder was what was happening to Zook. For as he watched with the excitement and joy in his son's face, Zook's face began to show these emotions too. Why was Zook's excitement such a great wonder to his family? Well into the night, Pic fell asleep, and Zook gently lifted his son into his powerful arms and carried him, smiling down at his son's face. Kanal was awake long enough to see all this before he, too, fell asleep and was picked up by his own father. Eichel had already been asleep for an hour, cradled in her mother's arms. They got a good night's sleep before beginning the long canoe journey home. The morning fog cleared in the first hour of their journey home. Pic, turning to call to his cousin Kanal in the other canoe, nearly lost his balance and fell into the river. His father grabbed him by the shoulder and steadied him in the canoe. And then Zook laughed and joked, "My son, you are not a tortoise." A tortoise is similar to a turtle. Do not leap into the water. And hearing his brother laugh, Toon smiled to himself and dipped his paddle once more into the water, glad to be going home.